know me from not very long ago. I came here. And the first thing I talked about was my Daniel fast, but that's a whole different story. I've lived here in Chattanooga my whole life. My father passed away when I was a kid. I was 6. Things were pretty rough after that. I acted out in high school, middle school, the typical terrible bad influence kid. That was me. So after that, I went to college for about 2 years. I dropped out around 2013 because I got involved with a bad crowd, drugs, and a lot of things I'm not proud of, for sure. During that time, I actually had to turn myself in twice. I was on the front page of the Just Busted. So I don't know if you guys ever saw that magazine before, but I was in it. And then the last time I sat there for 12 hours, and that really is kind of what got me thinking. So I started working at Amazon in about October of 2014. And I was still using at that point. And I, about a year later, ran into somebody who I called the Jesus guy. Because he always wore a shirt with Jesus on it. Like, my favorite one, I'll never forget it, is one with Jesus, like, surfing on a wave. And I just thought that was the coolest thing. And so he stopped me one day, and he says, hey, have you ever read the Bible? And I was like, well, no, I've always wanted to. I've thought about it. I just never really knew how to get started or, anything like that. And he said, I'll tell you this. He said, go to the concordance in the back and look up Holy and Spirit and just go through each reference of those. And he said, and if something jumps out to you, then that's the Lord speaking to you. But if not, you don't ever have to open up the Bible again. And I was like, okay, that sounds... So after that, I started slowly but surely making my way through each of the references. And then, at the end, there's that little, it makes it another reference to another verse. So I'm going back and I'm looking and I'm looking. And one night, while I was in my closet at this house, this drug house that I was living at the time, because I wanted out, but I didn't know how. I don't know if any of you guys have had experience with that, but you get so deep into it, and then there comes a point where it's like you don't know what to do because you don't want to call out to anybody because it's scary. You don't. So I'm in my closet and I'm hiding in there. And I get to Matthew 6:6. But when thou prayest, enter into thy closet. And when thou hast shut thy door, pray to thy Father which is in secret. And thy Father which seeth in secret shall reward thee openly. Amen. And I just cried and cried and cried for what seemed like forever. And but then the next couple of days, my sister, she offered to take me to work. I was going to be late. Somebody else was supposed to take me. It was just a whole big thing. And I was like, you know what? Just forget about it. I'll just stay home from work today. And she dropped me off. And I got to thinking, and I texted her, and I was like, Jessie, I really wish I would have come home with you. And Jessie gets on the phone with my mom. She's like, Mom, Julieann said she wants to come home. Like, what does that mean? So my mom calls me, and I said, Mom, if I stay here, I will go to prison with these people. I will go to prison. And so she came and picked me up. Within the next week, we got my stuff. I was completely clean and sober after that. And how I became an Adventist, that'll be a whole other superintendent remark. But the thing, I was right. They ended up all going to prison 6 months later. 6 months later, all those people were in prison. So I wanted to share my testimony today because I know a lot of you guys don't really know that much about me, and so I just figured I'd share because the Lord really, he saved my life. He saved my life.
Praise God.
Amen. I wouldn't be here if it weren't for Jesus guy at Amazon. We're just so crazy. God really can move anywhere and do anything, and so just no one is ever too far to be saved. Amen. And so people need prayer. So we have to make sure to pray for those that we care about, and even those that we don't know, random people on the street. And you never know how God can move. So, thank you so much.
Amen.
Amen.